Hello, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Thank you for your time. The purpose of this video message is to share some breaking news with you, some very important news about the nonprofit sector. It impacts all 501c3 nonprofit organizations, so please take out a pen and paper so that you can write some notes. This is very important breaking news I want to share with you. It impacts every 501c3 nonprofit organization in the United States. Are you ready to learn what the news is? IRS alert. The IRS accidentally revoked the 501c3 nonprofit status for thousands of organizations. Again, the IRS accidentally revoked the 501c3 nonprofit status for thousands of organizations, so it is imperative that we learn whether or not your nonprofit is impacted. This was an accident due to a computer glitch. So as soon as possible, we need to check your nonprofit status on the irs.gov website immediately because you want to take action if your nonprofit organization is impacted by this accidental revocation of 501c3 status. But before I show you how to do that, let's take a moment to pause because I want to give you some background information as to what could cause this to happen, even if it's not an accident. Just some tips, some FYIs, if you will, for moving forward. And then I'm going to demonstrate how to check your status. But I just want to share with you a little bit of information that I think would be helpful going forward, just in case you don't know. The Form 990 is the financial report the IRS requires nonprofits to submit each year. Again, the Form 990 information return is the financial report the IRS requires nonprofits to submit each year. You have to submit it to let the IRS know what's going on in your organization. There are three major types: 990, 990EZ, and the 990NE postcard. The type you submit depends on your gross receipts and your assets as shown here on the screen. Three types of Form 990s, major types. There are others, but these are the three major types that you need to be aware of. Again, just giving you some background information so that you can have it going forward. And then I'm going to demonstrate how to check your nonprofit status to see if you were impacted by the accidental revocations. But these are the three types. Gross receipts and assets determine which type you should submit every single year. And notice 0 is there listed as well. Now, the due dates: when do you submit your nonprofit organization's Form 990 information return? Well, it depends on when your fiscal year ends. If your fiscal year ends on December 31st, for example, at the very bottom right side, then your return is due May 15th, next week. So if you use a calendar year as your fiscal year, meaning it ends December 31st, then your Form 990 is due to the IRS next week, May the 15th. So please, please don't miss your due dates. Even if you have 0 revenues, even if you're not doing anything at all with your nonprofit, you still must submit the appropriate type of Form 990. And we already talked about the three major types. Which is the appropriate type for your organization? And then when does your fiscal year end? That determines when you submit your Form 990. So now it's time for me to demonstrate how to check your status to see if you were in the accidental revocations. So I'm going to pause my screen so that I can get to where I need to be to check your status, to walk you through the steps to check your status. So just one moment, please, as I go to irs.gov to demonstrate how to check your status for your nonprofit organization, because I really hope that your organization was not impacted by this accidental revocation. But if it was, I will share with you the steps to get things back on track. Okay? So I am at the IRS.gov website right now. That's what I'm showing on my screen. I'm going to increase it. Oh, it's already at 125, so that's good. So the first thing you want to do once you go to IRS.gov is to come over and click on the charities and nonprofits link right here. As you can see, I'm moving my mouse to draw attention to that link. Click on that, scroll down, and then click on tax exempt organization search. Go to this section and click on search organizations. And then you go to another page and you click on tax exempt organization search tool. Click on that and then scroll down just a tad and click on search for tax exempt organizations. So we've gone through 3 pages. Finally, we are at the tax exempt organization search page. And this is where you will go to check the status of your nonprofit organization to make sure that it was not impacted by the accidental revocations. I know my employer identification number by heart, so I'm going to go ahead and click in the enter EIN number field, and I'm going to type 42-1672537. This is public knowledge. You can't hide this information from the public. If somebody wants to know the EIN for your nonprofit organization, you must provide it for them. Because when you completed your application to earn 501c3 status, in the top right corner, it said for public inspection. So now I'm going to click on search. And here is my nonprofit organization. 42-1672537 is my EIN. My organization is called Comprehensive Community-Based Solutions Incorporated. It is in Rock Hill, South Carolina, in the country of the United States. Now, is my nonprofit impacted? No, it is not, because had it been impacted, there would be a revocation box here. It will have auto revocation list over here on the side, but mine is not impacted, and it shows that my information, my database information, can be found in publication 78 data, and I filed a Form 990N information returns. And from what you've already learned, that is one of the 3 major types of Form 990s. It is the one where you have gross receipts from $0 to $50,000 a year, from $0 to $50,000 per year. So if I click on this link, it will give me information about my nonprofit organization, but that's not the purpose of this particular video lesson. I just wanted you to see what it will look like to see one that's revoked. Well, you can't tell by mine, can you? Because I'm not revoked. So I'm going to move back up, and I'm going to remove my EIN from the search field. I'm going to do a general search for organizations in South Carolina. So you saw where I went to the state drop-down menu, and I'm click on South Carolina, see where I am, state, and then South Carolina, and I'm going to click on search. And I'm doing that because I want to be able to show you what it will look like when you come out here to see if an organization is revoked or not. So here we are. Here's an example. Auto revocation list. This lets me know that the one South Carolina camp at large in Beaufort, South Carolina, does not have a 501c3 status anymore because it is listed on the auto revocation list. So let me click on the auto revocation list and let us see what it looks like. This will tell us when it was revoked. So I clicked on the link, and it shows one South Carolina camp at large. It has the EIN number, and it shows it's in Beaufort, South Carolina. And if I scroll down, it shows the auto revocation list, and it tells us, here's the information that we can read. Organizations whose federal tax exempt status was automatically revoked for not filing a Form 990 series return or notice for 3 consecutive years. See, if you miss filing for 3 consecutive years, then the IRS is going to automatically revoke your status. Okay, and here's an important note that I want to emphasize. Just because an organization appears on this list, it does not mean the organization is currently revoked, as they may have been reinstated. Well, if they are reinstated, then the reinstatement date should reflect that here. But the exemption type for this organization is a 501c4, not C3. The exemption reinstatement date is blank, so they're not reinstated yet. The revocation date is November the 15th, 2013, and the revocation posting date is August the 11th, 2014, which means the date in which the IRS officially posted the revocation status on this website. So that's what revocation looks like. Let me go back and look at one more so you can see. I'm going to scroll down. And as I'm scrolling down, you can see that here's another instance of an organization that has a revoked status. And that is the 100 Black Men of Charleston. They have a revoked status. That organization has a revoked status. The 100 Black Men of the 100 Black Men of Upstate South Carolina, they have a revoked status. The 100-fold Life Ministry in Charleston, revoked status. So you can scan through and scroll down and see there are several organizations that have a revoked status. So once again, I just wanted to demonstrate how to check your status to see if it was impacted by the accidental revocation that the IRS that happened due to a computer glitch with the IRS. So now I'm going to pause my screen and return back to the presentation and finish up our conversation today. Thank you so much for your patience with me having to go back and forth between screens. I appreciate that very much. But again, I just wanted to show you how to check your status because this is very important. When you cannot operate your organization or when your organization is in revoked status, that means you cannot receive money, any kind of money, because technically you don't have a nonprofit. So when people give you money, they cannot write it off. And that's what a lot of people, well, that's the reason why a lot of people invest in nonprofits, to be able to have a tax write-off. So if you don't have a 501c3 designation due to revocation, you shouldn't take anybody's money because you will get in trouble for that. You know how you get in trouble for that? Because when people file their taxes, they will document that they gave your organization money and they will have the EIN, and the EIN is going to ping when they try to file their taxes showing that they gave money to your organization. They will get a letter from the IRS. It's just going to be not a good thing. Another thing you can't do is continue offering services under the pretense of having a 501c3 designation. That's illegal as well. So again, I just wanted to demonstrate how to check your status because it's something you should routinely do anyway. You know, that's something you should routinely do anyway. And there's ever a time when you want to invest in an organization, now you know how to check their status. You just go to irs.gov, charities and nonprofits, and check their status. So what is the status? If the IRS erroneously revoked your nonprofit's 501c3 status, then call customer service at 877-829-5500. Let them know, look, I checked my status and I don't know why I'm revoked because I have filed my Form 990 information returns every single year. So clearly my organization is a part of the accidental revocation, and I would like to know how to get it reinstated. Reminder, file the appropriate Form 990 information return by May the 15th. If you're not impacted by the accidental revocations, you still have to file the appropriate Form 990 by May the 15th of this year, next week. File the appropriate one, appropriate meaning the one that you fit under the gross receipts and assets. So look at the 3 types that I've already taught you, and you can file the appropriate one. Now, I can help you file the Form 990N e-postcard because I provide that filing service. So if you fit in that category between $0 and $50,000 that you generated last year, I'm happy to file that one for you because I have that filing service and I can help you do that. I've been doing it for the last few years successfully. So you can go to my website and learn more information about that. That's trustsusanwoods.com. Again, I'm Susan Woods, and I do complete the Form 990 e-postcard for organizations that generate $50,000 or less. I show you what I do here in these steps. You just go to the link in the description below to reserve an appointment. Remember, if your fiscal year ended on December the 31st, then your Form 990 is due next week, May the 15th, and I'm happy to help you complete that process. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your attention. I wanted to let you know what happened so that you can prepare yourself and your organization to get reinstated if it was accidentally revoked. If not, still file your Form 990s by next week. Thank you. I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Thank you very much and have a great day.